Oh, good morning. Welcome to Morning Meditations. How was your night? I hope you slept well. I did. I'm so grateful for when I do. There have been nights in the last 6 months mostly where I didn't. And so when I do, and when I'm in a pattern of sleeping well, I don't take that for granted. I probably did for years. I was a little smug about it, always. Well, I sleep really well. Nah, 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 nah. But I don't live in non-gratitude anymore. And I don't take anything for granted. I know how important, and I appreciate so much when I sleep well, when others sleep well, understand the importance of rest. So why don't we start resting our soul on this, for me, beautiful Sunday morning. As I look around, it's just lovely today. So we're going to take a deep breath. Yeah, yeah. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. That one felt good. I would invite you to please continue your breath after we say goodbye to one another for the day. I have a very interesting day ahead of me. I'll tell you more about it later. I have a patient in town. Yay. Our warm coffee, tea, or our lovely green drink, or whatever else you've decided to drink. Hopefully not a diet soda. Oh, Lordy. So I just finished my 15 minutes of breath work before coming to see you right here, turning on the video on my rock between two mesquites in my backyard. And what arose, for those of you who don't know me, who are new to this, whatever this is, this morning meditations on Instagram, I do meditation and breath work in the morning. And whatever arises in my psyche, which I'm not sure where my psyche exists. I'm sure it exists in my mind, and it's all neurochemical. It feels deeper. It feels like it's just everywhere in my body. So, but it's in my mind. Obviously, it's neurochemical. So, whatever arises comes from my experience, my life experience, either in the past or what I'm going through right now. Well, I guess that's all past, right? Because everything that's come up into this point, this very moment where I'm sitting on this rock, is past. So everything that arises in my psyche is from the past. And that past may be an immediate past. It may be from what happened yesterday. It may be from what happened to my great-great-great-grandmothers. To those memories that are locked and stored inside our DNA. And then when we have children, 50% of our DNA is given to our children. It's all genetics. Half of your children have all of your children have half of your DNA. And which is an interesting concept, because when we pass, when we die, we never leave our children or our grandchildren, because our DNA, our code, is physically passed. into our children. So we never really leave them. And our mannerisms, our behaviors, our thoughts, our emotions, a lot of those are genetic. They're learned, they're environmental, our behaviors. We mimic the people that we're around when we're young, and we learn from them, but we also have genetic code, genetic memories that are in all of our cells. And that's so hardwired. That's really hardwired. So when I touch my ear like that, or roll my eyes, those things may be exactly what my great 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 grandfather did. So it's good to know that we are a product of the past, but we are not the past. And remember, the future doesn't exist. That's not real. Okay? So don't spend too much time worrying or being stressed out about the future. And because it hasn't happened, and it's not real. I mean, that's not a cop out. But if you think about it, and you think about living in the present moment, then you can actually work more efficiently to create a future for yourself. I mean, unless something unpredictable, some disaster occurs, and that can happen. It does happen. I hear all the time. I've experienced myself disaster and chaos. And it's how we cope with this present moment, and how we can return to this present moment through the breath is how we will be able to cope with disasters that may or may not occur in the future. But something's going down in the future, and it's not always what we would conceive of as good. As a matter of fact, we just wipe good and bad out of our psyches. What seems bad today, which is a terrible injury, there are some things that are just bad, I guess. When I think of the scope of bad, but I'm talking about like the little day-to-day things. She said something mean about me, or I'm going to lose my job. That's bad. But those things are also opportunities and lessons that we can learn from. A place where we can step back from something that's bad, that we are perceiving as bad, and make space so that we can observe it, step back, look back at the bad thing, quote, bad, and not so much search around for the good, but wait for the good to happen. By observing the bad, we give ourselves space for the good. And to me personally, the worst thing that can happen to someone is to lose a child. I just can't see any good in that. That is so painful that's our DNA. It's losing us. It's losing ourselves. A part of us, a big part of us. And I know there are people who've made good things come from that. That man that created America's Most Wanted television show, his daughter died, his 12-year-old daughter, and instead of becoming an alcoholic, he rose and he used a defense mechanism called sublimation, where he did good things. He made this TV show, and he caught lots of bad people. Bad people. Yeah, bad people. People that do bad things. And, but I'm not talking about that level of evil. I'm talking about, little things in life. So, also, what arose was just being prepared for chaos and disaster, and the breath is a really good way, is to do your breath work every day and to stay in love. And don't let that state of love, it can be rocked, but you can't be rocked out of states of love or gratitude. There's something else that arose, and I don't know, can't remember. It seemed fairly pertinent and important at the time. It had to do with judgment. On this day, Sunday, the universal life force that we call God, or whatever you want to call it, the source that energizes and activates all of us, the source of the sun, the source of the moon and the plants. Your source, you may see it as a woman, as in Mother Nature, which is beautiful, or Mother Mary, Kuan Yin. You may see the source as a man, a male figure, Jesus or God. And if you're an atheist, you may see the source as dopamine and serotonin in your brain that are firing in your brain in science. And it's just a name, really. You put a name to that universal life force and call it what you will. And we do that with our constructs that we're born and raised in. And that is beautiful, that's acceptance of everyone's thoughts and beliefs. And the judgment that comes with some of those, when some folks out there are raised or trained to believe that their way of thinking is the only way, and that's judgment. So if we could just move past the judging. We as humans, we judge things every day. We judge whether something's dangerous, or whether it's going to be, financially important to us in the future. Maybe we shouldn't spend that. And that's different. But judging people like you're overly emotional, or you overreacted to something, or you're talking too loud or too much, or you should or shouldn't do that. It's not appropriate. That's inappropriate. That's all judging based on our own personal beliefs and opinions. And let's just, today, since it's Sunday and it's the sacred holy meaning whole, like all of us together, fully loving and being together. Today is a holy, sacred day. Let's all not just try one day not to say anything mean about anybody, not to gossip, not to spread lies, not to spread rumors. Just do it today, just one day if you can. That's called being impeccable with your word. And I would urge all of you to read the book or listen to the audio, because Peter Coyote is amazing. He reads this audio book called The 4 Agreements. I'm pretty sure it's free on YouTube. Please, on this Sunday, if you're just lying around watching the sun or the clouds or the rain, get yourself a warm fluid and read The 4 Agreements by Ruiz, Ruiz. It's a very popular book, The 4 Agreements, and one of them is be impeccable with your word, do your best, never assume, and don't take anything personally. Okay, well, I invite you, and I'm going to have a really interesting day. I'm doing some work today with a patient from out of town, and I'm very happy and excited to be working. My work is one-on-one. I will work with him. Some patients I work with 3 days. I'm going to be working with him 2, and let's see how it goes. I'll give you follow-up later. I love you so much. And one more thing. Wear color today, okay? Just something pink or blue or green. Just put it on. Mix it up. Green and purple are good together. Hey, there's Big B. Hi, Big B. How's your day going to be?
I'm going to go ride.
Yeah, baby. Ride. I got to ride.
I hate daylight savings time.
I think we all hate daylight savings time.